Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam 81. I'm coming back to you with an update about the New York, the NYPD. They fired Daniel Pantaleo for the chokehold that he placed Eric Garner in and his death. 5 years later, better late than never. The title says NYPD fires Officer Daniel Pantaleo for chokehold in Eric Garner's death. An administrative judge had earlier recommended that Pantaleo be terminated. Garner's death, which sparked national protests, occurred on July 17, 2014. New York police officer Daniel Pantaleo leaves his house on May 13, 2019 in Staten Island. This article is done by David K. Lee. Daniel Pantaleo, the New York City police officer seen on video using a chokehold during Eric Garner's death. Eric Garner's deadly arrest 5 years ago, sparking mass protests, was fired by the department, the police commissioner said on Monday. An administrative judge this month recommended that Pantaleo be terminated over the July 17, 2004 confrontation as Garner was being arrested on Staten Island for selling loose, untaxed cigarettes. Pantaleo, who has been with the NYPD since 2006, was suspended as soon as the departmental verdict was reached, in keeping the long-standing practice when there is a recommended firing. The 13-year veteran has been on desk duty as his case made its way through the legal and administrative circles. The NYPD's number 2 official, First Deputy Commissioner Benjamin Tucker, accepted the judge's ruling that Pantaleo should be fired. 2 law enforcement officials familiar with the case told NBC New York last week. Tucker reviewed the findings and had passed them on to Commissioner James O'Neill for his final review, sources say. Tucker reportedly found no new evidence to reverse the judge's decision. Members of the Black Lives Matter protests on the 5th anniversary of the death of Eric Garner in New York on July 17, 2019. So that was just recently. Patrick J. Lynch, president of the city's Patrolmen's Bonavent Association, warned O'Neill that Pantaleo's termination would be a mortal blow to his members. So, he will lose his police department, Lynch had said. A Staten Island grand jury denied to indict Pantaleo early this summer. The Justice Department said it would not bring federal civil rights or criminal charges against the NYPD officer, which they should have. Pantaleo was among 2 officers who gave initially confrontation Garner, age 43, about his alleged sale of cigarettes in an incident captured on a bystander Ramsey's Ulta cell phone. A backup arrived. Pantaleo jumped on Garner's back, wrapped his left arm around the suspect's neck, and rolled him to prevent him. 4 other officers came to assist Pantaleo as he shows Garner's face in the sidewalk, all while a 6'2", roughly 400-pound man repeatedly pleaded, "I can't breathe." The officer of the chief medical examiner of New York ruled Garner's death a homicide based on the compression of his neck and chest. Through the forensics investigation, also said Garner's acute and chronic bronchitis asthma, obesity, and heart disease were contributing factors. About 5 months after Gardner's death, a Staten Island grand jury denied to indict Pantaleo based on the evidence presented by the officer of the then District Attorney Dan D. The D's top prosecutor, D, insisted he presented all evidence through transcripts of grand jury proceedings have never been released. Why haven't they? Earlier this summer, federal prosecutors ended their 5-year-long probe of the matter and elected not to pursue any civil charges against Pantaleo. Of course they wouldn't. Look who's in office. Attorney General William Barr made the final decision not to charge Pantaleo, choosing to follow recommendations of the Brooklyn prosecutors, a senior Justice Department official told NBC News in July. At Pantalleo's departmental trial, his defense insisted that the officer did not employ a chokehold, which is banned by the NYPD, but you clearly seen him do that. He did put a chokehold on that man. He didn't let up on that man. He tried to take the life from that man. Instead, Pantalleo's defense argued he was using a seatbelt move. That's a lie. If it's a seatbelt move, it's going across the chest, from the top of the shoulder to across the chest, not around the neck. But whatever. Wrapped arms around suspect's shoulders to bring him to bring in his arrest. I Can't Breathe became the rallying call for protests that summer by Black Lives Matter activists, which now on the FBI's terror list of most threats to the United States, Black Lives Matter and anything that they deem black extremists was on a high alert level than neo-Nazi skinheads and white supremacists. They're in a mid-range, which is like, okay, we're looking at you, but we're really not going to pursue you. Whereas though Black Lives Matter, which did peaceful protests, not marching in North Carolina with tiki torches, talking about kill Jews, niggas, and gay people, are low or higher than them. So whatever. Let me see. Gardner's death came less than a month before Mike Brown, another unarmed 18-year-old African-American man whose life was cut short. He was fatally shot by the police, Darren Wilson, in Ferguson, Missouri. Why? For being black. Was he committing a crime? Most likely not. He was just black. Gardner and Brown's death became flashpoints of coast-to-coast protests against police brutality and systemic racism, which still raises ugly heads to this day. And then, side note, the thing that people want to say when you speak out about it, oh, you're being racist. Well, I'm here to tell you and inform you that black people cannot be racist. Black people have not shown systemic racism to other races. Black people have not been in a position of power to create laws that still stand on the books to this day that disenfranchises people of color, namely black and brown people. Okay? If you go to your law in Virginia, this is just an example. There's a casual killing law still on the books to this day. The casual killing law was basically set back in the time of slavery, which basically said if a slave owner's wife beats the slave that her husband raped, and because he raped her and she became pregnant, she has the right to beat and beat to death and kill the slave and the child and not serve any time for it. You don't believe me? Go look it up. And this is the author of the article. Let me finish this last little part out. Staffers working for members of the Congressional Black Caucus staged a walkout on December 11, 2014 in protest of Eric Garner and Mike Brown's death and the lack of local prosecution of police officers involved. Well, let me tell you why there is no prosecution of any of these cases. The Fraternal Order of Police, I don't give a fuck what state you in. They ain't shit. They ain't never been about shit. They another little gang that's been running around here since the slave catchers, rounding niggas up, lynching niggas, killing niggas, all that. For a very long time. They ain't shit. And to be honest with you, and this is just my opinion, in my opinion only, this is not shared by YouTube or anybody that watches my videos or whatever the case is, but I really don't feel bad when cops get shot. The only cop that I really felt bad about getting shot was Detective Sutherland, the one that they claimed that killed himself down here. He was from New York. So you see, they don't even have any loyalty within inside their own ranks. They kill their own people. I'm sorry. Truth is the truth. And I'm from a city where they will kill their own people, where they will leave dead rats. Another police officer. They will leave dead rats on their car outside their family home just to scare them so they won't testify. The cop that I'm talking about is no longer a cop, or I think that he went to a different state and became a cop, but I doubt it. He's no longer a cop anymore. So this is what I'm saying. This is what I've been saying. Like, what are we gonna do as a group of people, black and brown? There's no such thing as team light skin, team dark skin. That shit's stupid. There's no such thing as middle class and poor and rich. That's a myth for people of color. Because no matter how much you get or earn on a year for taxes, if you have a tint to your skin or you not of Caucasian Caucasoid descent, you will always be considered a nigga. And that's just the facts of it. Can black people be racist? No, not at all. You have to have some level of power to change laws and be able to apply them laws and put them into effect and make them law in order to be racist, which none of us have that power. We do, however, have a lot of boulets walking around here that don't care about their people. We do have a lot of house niggas walking around here that will, quote unquote, fight for the cause, but will not stand when it's time to really stand. In that case, the thing with Jay-Z, what can I say about him? He is a legend in his own right. A legend in his own right. I'm disappointed as fuck. You went hard for Kaepernick, but all because of money. You wanted to partner with them. Yeah, I know it's still early in the deal. The ink ain't dried on the paper, whatever the case is. But that's a real house nigga move to me. I'm sorry. Have much respect for him. Have much respect for Beyonce. Love Beyonce. But it ain't got nothing to do with her, but that's just his wife. And I really do think that that's a nigga. When did you become, like Faison Love said, shout out to Faison Love. When did you become the spokesperson for all niggas? For all people of color? When? Who took a vote? Why is this notion widely accepted? You don't speak for me. Apparently you don't speak for Faison Love and Sean King and all the other people that have spoken out against you. I'm sorry. You want to talk about true social change? He's in a position, Jay-Z's in a position to really make some things happen. What does he do? He partners and had conversations for over a year behind Kaepernick's back that's supposed to be quote unquote his friend about signing the deal that's now public. You have enough money, you and your wife, to secure your children, their children, their children's children, and their children's children's future. Why? Because you wanna be on the scale of the Bilderbergs and this, that, and the third. But what about the culture? That's the question. But I'm going to wrap this video up because it's getting a little too long. I thank you all for watching this video. Please drop down in the comments. Let me know how you feel about this. This is an update. They fired him 5 years too late. This man should be in jail. This man should be on death row. Just like the other lady, Eric Garner, that broke into the guy's house and murdered him in his own house while he was asleep because she went in the wrong apartment. She should be in jail. She should be on death row. It's a lot of them. The people that killed Freddie Gray, no, he wasn't a spotless man. Yeah, he had he did what he did and stuff like that. He paid his debt to society. He doesn't deserve to be locked up and put in the back of the paddy wagon and die because of it. Neither does Eric Garner, Mike Brown, all the other people that have died. They don't deserve that.